It's official. The Bulls have finally moved on from Garpax. So it looks like Gar Forman is no longer a GM for the Chicago Bulls, which is great. You know, he's probably gonna be moved to scouting and only scouting. I don't care where Gar Forman moves to, as long as he's not the Bulls GM. And then it looks like I'm still confused about John Paxson. So it looks like the Chicago Bulls are gonna move John Paxson to like a lower role in the GM office. So he's not gonna be the GM, and to my knowledge, he's gonna have little to no say in what the GM does. The Bulls are gonna hire a new GM, and John Paxson is not gonna really have any say in anything. He might have a little say, but for the most part, John Paxson pretty much has no say in what the Bulls do in terms of GM moves. So the Bulls, they've been looking at many, candidates for the new GM spot. One of the candidates was Chad Buchanan. Unfortunately for the Bulls, the Pacers GM decided to stay with the Pacers. So yeah, it sucks for the Bulls that they're not able to get the Pacers GM because the Pacers GM has pulled off some pretty good moves. For the past couple of years, they traded away Paul George, and they got back a really good return with Domantas Sabonis and Victor Oladipo, who are probably their two best players on their team right now. So that's pretty good. And he's also pulled off some other pretty good moves. So it kind of sucks as a Bulls fan, that we're not able to get the Pacers GM. But there are some other candidates. So first, let's talk about Sam Presti and Masai Ujiri. So Masai Ujiri and Sam Presti. It doesn't look like the Bulls are gonna get those two, which really sucks because Masai Ujiri and Sam Presti are some pretty good GMs, but it just doesn't look like the Bulls are gonna get them. So I'm not really gonna talk about them. And there's also the Nuggets GM, who's honestly, if the Bulls can get the Nuggets GM, that would be pretty good. Because obviously the Nuggets GM has been pulling off some good moves. He snagged Jokic with a second round pick, and he's been able to continue to bring some more talent in to their team. So it will be pretty good to have him as the GM for the Bulls. Another candidate for the Bulls GM job is the Heat's assistant GM right now, Adam Simon. And that would be pretty good. They're also looking at Raptors GM Bobby Webster. As of right now, anybody but Gar Forman would be good for me. Like, as a Bulls fan, I've been dealing with Gar Forman for a long time. Gar Forman has been, pretty terrible for the past couple of years. And if they could just get anybody but Gar Forman at the GM spot, that would just be really exciting to see as a Bulls fan. So as of right now, I'll just talk about it again, the main people right now that the Bulls can possibly get as the GM are the Nuggets GM, the Raptors GM, Bobby Webster, or the Heat assistant GM. Those seem like the top GMs that the Bulls are looking at right now. And some people are asking, like, why would the Nuggets GM, the Raptors GM, and the Heat assistant GM, they're all on contending teams right now, and some people might ask, why would they leave those contending teams for the Bulls, who are one of the worst teams in the NBA? Well, there's a lot of reasons why a GM would go to the Bulls right now. Number one, they'll probably get more money. Number two, the Chicago Bulls are a pretty, well-known franchise. They're one of the top franchises in the NBA, and their name would get recognized more if they were in a top franchise like the Bulls. And also, maybe a GM wants a challenge. Like, maybe they want to construct a contending team out of this pretty dysfunctional franchise right now. Or maybe for some assistant GMs, such as the Heat assistant GM, maybe they just want more power, because as of right now, the Heat assistant GM is only an assistant GM, obviously, so maybe he would want more, control of a whole franchise pretty much. I don't know. As of right now, it's kind of just a question mark in the air right now. We do know that there's going to be a new GM coming to the Bulls, but we don't know who it can be yet. We only have a couple of names that might become the Bulls GM. But as a Bulls fan, I'm just happy that Gar Forman is probably going to be gone, and I'm happy that there's going to be a new GM running the front office, and there's going to be new changes in the front office. And the new GM is most likely gonna fire Jim Boylan, which is really exciting to, think about. For me, it really doesn't matter who gets the GM spot. Obviously, I would want a more experienced GM, and a more, well-known GM. But honestly, as long as it's not Garpax, I'm gonna be happy. So yeah, that's all I really have to say in this video. This was kind of a rant video. But thank you guys for watching anyways. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section below, and I'll see you next time.